Okay, so I think it's about time we give the other Lambros their due attention. Here is a video review of Transformers Studio Series Lockdown and Shadow Raider. Now, for all you mint inbox collectors and box collectors, I apologize. I already threw out the boxes. I still have like a basis somewhere, you know, once you where you put the characters in, it's somewhere there, somewhere. But I'm too lazy to bring them out. I thought most of you guys will just be interested in the figures itself, so let's just focus on reviewing these figures, right? Okay, so as it stands, this guy is probably the best representation of lockdown that we've had from Hasbro Takara, not counting third party, of course. And this guy, he is good looking, but I don't remember seeing him anywhere in the movie. I expect it's just like a quick buck, a way for Hasbro and Takara to earn a quick buck. So you get the same body, repaint it orange, change the head, and give him a gun instead of two weapons. Between the head and the alternate gun, I think this is a necessity, especially for people like Lockdown, because Lockdown does sport that alternate head in the movie. He sometimes wears the helmet, and then he does use that gun to, you know, to pry out this poor guy's heart. So yeah, this becomes a necessity just for this or this, but for most collectors, they'll just buy Lockdown. Anyway, let's focus on each of the figures. Starting with Lockdown, he comes with two weapons. I don't think two the very iconic weapons. One is this gun, oh sorry, this sword, which if you ask me, this one is more iconic as a gun for Mark Wahlberg rather than a sword for him. I don't recall him using this. I remember this as the gun Mark Wahlberg used in the movie. Anyway, still good looking, nice sculpt, lacking in any paint, but it's all black anyway, so matches. The other weapon is this hook, which is iconic for Lockdown, just not that Lockdown. It's iconic for both, like the animated Lockdown and the other figure got it, Hunt for the Decepticons. Yeah, they both sport this hook. I don't remember movie Lockdown using the hook. Now, for Shadow Raider, he comes with this gun. Okay, which is the gun that it's more a spark extractor than a gun, I think. And this is the one that again, like I mentioned, Lockdown used to extract Ratchet's spark. It does make for a good looking gun. Lacks a bit of paint detail, but still good looking. No. And these weapons, given that they're the same body mode, these weapons are interchangeable. So using that hole, you just plug it into the hand like so. You can also use this peg to plug onto that slot, but I don't think it's as effective. It looks clunky. And this works for Shadow Raider as well, so I can do that, but then the color doesn't match. Okay. And then this, I keep saying gun because this is Mark Wahlberg's technically gun, but it's like a dagger sword thing as well. This one you peg on the back of the arm. This will work with Shadow Raider, as I mentioned. So you just plug it in that slot using that. Yeah. For alternatively, you can use that peg and slot it into the hand. This acts like a dagger of sorts. Right? You can do it like that or like that. Not really sure what the bladed end is. Go figure. And lastly, this gun. This gun. There's a peg at the back there, so you can actually peg it behind the hand as well, which looks bonkers, doesn't make sense. The actual way to put it is you see that small peg there, that overhanging peg there. Focus. That peg here slots into that hole. It only works on the right hand, and then this slot here, focus, slots into that hole. Focus, that hole. So it just peg that there. Okay, peg that there at the top, and then slot that in there. Again, works mold wise, it works. This guy, so we can focus. Mold wise it works. Color match is not the same though. Color works better with him. But if you just wanna have him extracting ratchet spark, then this is the best way to go. Oh, mercy. Okay, so yeah, now the figures themselves, let's look at them. See, again, focus. Need to get a better iPhone, I think. Okay, look at that face sculpt. I mean, this figure has a lot of flaws. Face sculpt is not one of them. I mean, that is very reminiscent of the movie. Look at that chrome, metallic, no, not chrome, but that gunmetal face, and those very well painted green eyes as well. Yes, unmistakably movie Lockdown. Doesn't have any light piping, doesn't need light piping if you ask me. Now going down, see, it's mostly just the color of the plastic, but where the color is there, works really well. See, lots of molded detail there. It's a little bit of silver plastic or gunmetal paint there on the shoulders. Not much paint in the chest. There is some again, I don't know if silver, silver paint there, and the blue paint there, which is barely noticeable, but when you see it, it's really effective. Going down, see, gold paint there, nicely sculpted, all those sculpted detail. Same on the thighs, sculpted details, gold, all the way to the feet. Yeah, so he doesn't look as lanky or as badly proportioned as the other Lockdown that we got, which unfortunately I don't have. Apologies. Even from the side, it's very clean. On the side, does have that backpack, but it's not like a the focus, but it's not as egregious as most figures, and it's compact, so I don't mind. Yeah. From the back, means clearly the car's there and the car's there. What can you do? You have to put it somewhere, right? And given that he's a fairly compact figure, yeah, I don't mind it at all. Now, comparing him with remove this Shadow Raider here. All the parts that will become part of the car is orange. Everything else is like a mix of gunmetal and gray. The head is basically Lockdown's helmeted or face-plated head. I've seen people swap the heads, and it's just a matter of pulling it out. There's just a peg there, though don't take my word for it. I've never felt the need to actually interchange the heads, so. But it is doable, it is possible from posts I've seen on the internet. This guy has a Decepticon symbol. I don't know why. He's supposed to be factionless if I'm not mistaken, but you know, I don't know. You have to sell him as either a Autobot or Decepticon, I guess, and he's closer to being a Decepticon than an Autobot. Gray plastic, all the same molded details. Side is the same, except of course orange parts. Back is the same, except also orange parts. yeah. And if you ask me, they look, yeah, only my camera will actually focus well. If you ask me, they look very nice together, either in car mode or in robot mode. If you're not attached to the lockdown character, I feel this guy is slightly better, in my opinion. But since this is a character and this is like a throwaway sentry drone thing, if you're gonna buy one, you're attached to the character, buy that. Otherwise, just buy this, my opinion. Okay, so let's go through the articulation, and it's it's the same for the both of them, so no need to do it for both, I guess. Articulation, your head can go up and down, a little bit of left and right. You can turn it around, but then you hit the what do you call this, collar, I guess. It's not actually a collar in the movie. If you've watched the movie, these are actually part of the neck, but I guess they can't really do that for a figure, right? So it's just turned into a collar, I guess. The hand can go all the way around, except it's partly blocked by the shoulders. Arm can only go that way, that much that way. You can swivel this all the way around. That's a ball joint, so you can do 90 degrees there and turn it all the way around. So basically two swivels, one there and there. Nothing at the waist. The waist itself, you can go that much left and right, which should be enough for most, because that's probably the most, yeah, if you're gonna turn your waist, you probably won't be able to do it more than that anyway, right? Legs can go that much out, can go that much forward, that much back, enough, I guess. This there's a swivel up there, 90 degrees on the knee. Feet can go forward, not much back, no ankle pivot. So on paper, now on paper articulation is enough. I mean, it's good on paper, but in practice it's hindered a lot. There's a lot of parts hitting other parts and things like that. So while you will be able to put him in dynamic poses, you will be hitting some limitations here and there. Now, is that a deal breaker? No, it's not. Okay, so let's go through some. So this is the same height as that, so let me remove him on the screen. Let's go through some quick comparisons. Where is my camera? Okay, so let's just do these comparisons fast. Curious with the other Lambro Studio Series, Siege Sideswipe. He is technically a big deluxe, so yeah, he's taller than that guy. Here he is with Powder Prime's Dreadwind, good point of reference, I think. Here he is with my 3 usable review comparison figures. Yeah, so you know how he is if you have one of these lines. Marvel Legends, Paul Rudd, Black Series, Daisy Ridley, and Armored Batman. Okay, and lastly, side by side with some other figures from the movie. Here he is with Stinger, so Tall Deluxe. Here he is with stand up Ratchet. With Ratchet, he is supposed to be a little bit taller than Ratchet, although it turns out here they're about the same height, so a little bit small. And the other important comparison, so while he's not like the new armored up knight looking Prime, here he is with Studio Series Optimus. So all in all, I think he's a good scale. Is it a perfect scale? No, definitely not. He needs to be a little bit taller. He needs to be smaller than him. These two need to be a little bit closer together, but I think that's the best they can do in terms of scale. Okay, taking these guys out. Let's go for transformation. I'll pause this here. Okay, I'm back. I just had to transform the other guys off screen. So let's do this guy. It's transformation. I'm not gonna show you Shadow Raiders just because it's the same transformation as this anyway. Yeah, you all know that. So yeah, let's transform this guy. First thing you do is take these flaps and move it back, both sides, and then this chest piece, see how it's protruding, and make sure you push it out when you transform it, make it a little bit more three-dimensional. But yeah, this chest piece you push in, so that's how it looks when it's not transformed properly. Makes him look very flat. So yeah, push it back, and then take this backpack, open it up, take this backpack, open it up. So this one, this back panel here just rests between these two tabs. Okay, so taking this flap, you can't pull it out directly like that. What you do is you bend it on the hinge, pull it out and straighten it out again. Yeah, now you can either fold this head in or not. I prefer to fold it in because I don't know, it just feels better. Others transform it without folding it in, but yeah, just fold it in there. Should peg properly. And to take it, you can take him out. There is to take him out, there's a small tab here where just do that. Yeah, let's fold that guy in. So these upper arms, you just fold this in. Turn it around, turn this around, and then that small peg will peg inside there. Yep. Same here. Turn it around. Turn it around. Okay. Now let's do the legs. Legs are pretty simple. Just fold the feet up. Push this in. Then tap that in. Push this in and tap that in. So if you're wondering, there is that small tab there that plugs into that tiny hole there. It doesn't peg, it just rests there. All friction, and more than friction than anything else. Turn the feet so they're turning forward like an introvert, and then peg that into that, and peg that into that gap here, and that peg into that gap there. They should should peg nicely together. Again, it just rests there, not peg. Now make sure you align the legs so that they're perfectly flat. Otherwise, it's not gonna roll properly. Not that it's very easy for this guy to roll. He has clearance issues, to put it simply. So yeah, peg them together. Now that flap there just rests into the gap there. So just put that there. It's not really a slot because there is some give there. It still go in and out, so it's not a slot. It's more space than anything else. So yeah, okay. See that those things will rest on those space there. This pointy things, they'll rest comfortably in that small protrusion, or sorry, gap there. I'll just and what is thing? Okay, and good. I'll leave it a little bit open because you'll need to then open from the back. Open this. You'll need to do that first, otherwise it's going to be difficult. So here, this peg, we'll peg into that hole, and same the other side. So just put back together again. Yeah. Peg, peg, peg. Okay. And now that you have that, okay, align that, and then you can just go this under there. There's enough give for allow you to do that comfortably without fear. And then just compress it together as much as you can. And push that. You can push everything up from here. Make it flat, and there we have. There we have Studio Series Lockdown in his gorgeous Lamborghini mode. And here is Studio Series Shadow Raider in his also gorgeous Lamborghini mode. So yeah, really nice. So let's compare the two. Of course, they're perfectly the same length and width, but in terms of the colors, right? This is mostly this clear flecky plastic. This one though is painted. That's all orange paint. Okay, so I mean, this looks a lot better in vehicle mode for me. The other thing is orange is I don't know if I heard it accurately, but I heard that orange is the default color for Lamborghinis when you buy it. So another plus for this guy. In terms of details, exactly the same. This one has like these tinted plastic. This is clear plastic, so that is a little bit of detriment because while the head is visible there, it's barely visible because this is tinted. This one, however, is clear plastic, so yeah, the head is clearly visible there. There is these Lamborghini logos. This one is clearer than that, but they're both similarly painted. It's more the difference between this plastic color and that. So it's not as apparent here. Here it's much clearer. Tinted for the headlights. Here is clear, so this one looks better. From the front, this is all unpainted. It's all base plastic color. This on the other hand has that black paint. From the side, same deal. This is painted. This is just all the flat plastic. Not that I'm saying the black plastic is bad by any means. It's actually quite good. I mean, I wouldn't have chosen a better way to do this, but just because this is painted, this looks a bit better. From the back, painted tail lights, nothing else here. Here has painted tail lights and those black pieces there. Those are actually not painted, by the way. I believe those are just the black base plastic color. It's this portion that's painted, I think orange. And then from the back, this is they're both painted, or this is the base plastic color. This is actually painted, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, underneath they're clearly both the same figure. Now, one thing I noted, see here, there's the Decepticon logo and this like this molded scratch mark. I think it's a scratch mark, I think. So, and it's the same here. It's clear as a scratch mark here. So that's one thing that I wish they removed it, because it doesn't make sense that they have the exact same scar. Anyway, yeah. So vehicle mode, I think this guy wins, bar none. Okay, so comparisons. Didn't bring a lot of comparisons, but here he is with Redwind, just so you know how he is compared to the Power of the Primes. Doesn't scale, not supposed to scale anyway. Here he is with Studio Series Bumblebee, so you know how he is beside the Studio Series. So he's definitely way too big for that, way too big for Optimus Prime as well. way too big for Ratchet. So I think they made him a big car just because he needed to scale better in robot mode. But that means their vehicle modes don't scale at all, which is a shame, but not the end of the world. They both look better in robot mode anyway. Am I right? Last comparison. Here's the other Lambro. Studio Series Sideswipe. Okay, so final thoughts. I mean, up to you. When these two figures, they look really nice. They look nice together. I don't think Shadow Raider by any stretch of the imagination is you know, a required figure. You don't need him in your collection. That said, figure wise, I mean, if it's just the figure and you don't really care about the character, Shadow Raider is better. But in all other aspects, I think Lockdown is the not superior figure. That's a bad terminology, but I think it's a more how you get more iconic, more required figure. So if you need a version of this mode in your collection and you don't really care if it's Lockdown or Shadow Raider, just choose Shadow Raider. But for all other collectors, choose this guy. He is, for all intents and purposes, like the more definitive and the more iconic character of the two. So yeah, that has been the review of Studio Series Lockdown, this guy over here, and Studio Series Shadow Raider, and that this guy over here. So if you like the review, please do subscribe. I only have 160 subscribers, so I can I'd appreciate any subscription that I can get. Please do share the video. Please post a like, post a comment. Yeah, otherwise, this has been Grim Trigger, and this has been Lockdown and Shadow Raider. Thanks for watching.